For 24 rounds, they have battled each other to an almost even standstill. 12 more rounds for each man to try again to prove better than the other.
Escúchame, cuídate, listos, let's go, vámonos.
Round one begin. Pacquiao starting behind his jab. Pattern of the first two fights, Pacquiao throws more jabs than Marquez. Marquez looks to counter with power shots.
He looks very, very strong.
It's making Marquez lead so that he himself could find something to counter with power. There's the first hard shot of the fight, a left hand straight up the middle on Marquez's chest. And now Pacquiao again reaches Marquez with the left, this time up top. Very concertedly, this was Manny's best training camp ever. Say to that is like that. The red mark on Marquez's nose is on the right side, just inside the eye.
These guys have fought 24 rounds right now. There's a lot of respect between them. But I would notice that even when Marquez did let Manny mix, he didn't counterpunch. And you see Manny now doing the counterpunch.
Absolutely right. He's the counterpuncher now, and he landed a right uppercut. Now he fires the left up the middle again. Marquez hasn't been able with anything good. Couple of body shots from Marquez there, but Pacquiao can't shot. It appeared that Manny was experimenting, particularly in the second half of the round, with laying back, trying to make Marquez lead, and casting himself in the role of counterpuncher. Crowd wants more action to go with all that intensity. One change that's taken place since their first fight, the development of Manny Pacquiao's right hand. He was a searching left-hand puncher, double jab, left hand, double jab, left hand. Over and over, back at 04. There's way more variety in his game now.
Oh, he's a very balanced out fighter there. I love his speed, his defense is good, his balance is phenomenal.
Been very judicious, very selective, has landed when he wanted to. Marquez getting ready to take a couple more risks, or so it would appear. He has stepped forward about 6 inches.
While he has a guy in front of him who's his own size, or maybe even smaller, he's also his own skill level, and he hasn't faced that in a long time.
Two fights in 24 rounds. You see, very much aware of avoiding the straight left hand of Manny's more than anything else.
And you saw him there trying to counter over Manny's left hand with his right hand, something he did so successfully in the first fight between the two. Now Pacquiao lands a left hand, comes back with a body shot. Pacquiao blindingly fast on his feet.
This is the thing.
Right hook by Pacquiao. Marquez came across with the right hand across the top. A little bit Pacquiao, 9 out of 42. Marquez, 8 out of 30. Marquez landing 6 power shots and only 4 for Pacquiao. Round 3 gets underway.
Thought Marquez won the round.
A far more tactical fight so far than was the case in either fight number 1 or fight number 2, or at least, according to my memory, it seems that way. Juan Manuel Marquez. Seesaw pattern, I win around, you win around, is another thing we saw in the first 2 fights. Left hand over the top for Pacquiao. Pacquiao making Marquez miss, but not firing back. Marquez fighting a conservative defensive fight here in round 3. Small amount of combustion there. Little body shot for Marquez. Left hand over the top for Pacquiao. Marquez sticks a straight right hand. There's a hard right hook by Pacquiao. Best punch of the fight so far. Marquez feels the need to answer. Now the action begins. Copy box numbers in 3. They both landed 10 punches. Pacquiao 10 out of 3, 53. Marquez 10 out of 39.
Well, that one-on-one Marquez style just impresses the judges enough to win a fight. He backs up. He does nothing flashy. You know what he does is very unusual. Judges like myself, because of the fact that he's the effective, very impressive, and he looks better doing it. 29-28, 2 rounds to 1. Pacquiao.
Now we're seeing the kind of action we saw in the first 2 fights. I hit you, you come and try to hit me back. One of the reasons that we have seen flowing, sustained action from them in their first 2 fights.
I think Pacquiao just convinced himself a little bit that
So he's punching and getting back in position right away.
Reaching left hook for Marquez. Made contact, but not solidly. Best punches of the fight have been a couple of Pacquiao left hands in the first round and a Pacquiao right hook in the third. Now Pacquiao begins to land solidly with a left and a right upstairs. Another left hand. Slight swelling above Juan Manuel Marquez's right eye, possibly from a Pacquiao left. Marquez goes that we often see free-flowing action from him. Pacquiao's by nature an attacker, but he's also a great counterpuncher. Marquez is by nature a counterpuncher, but he's also a great attacker. Everything that happens generally gets answered and then answered back. Marquez must... exploit those angles. He's by you on one side. You're shooting it comes back.
He's shooting his left hand. A lot of time when I went to full knockout pound, but shooting it almost like a fast jab, just a chicken before.
And you see the challenge for the 38-year-old Juan Manuel Marquez, fighting at a weight class far above what he's accustomed to, trying to keep up with the speed of Pacquiao, who's far more accustomed to this weight. Good. Good left hand by Pacquiao. Marquez lands a right in return. Here we go. Here we go.
Be focused. Jab. You hit the right low into the body.
Here you see what Marquez and Pacquiao both was concerned about, getting counterpunches. Anytime either one of them throw a punch and leave himself out of balance, boom. Beautiful right hand come back by Marquez right here.
Good right hand shot. Copy box numbers in the 4th round. Pacquiao 15 out of... That punch was blocked by Pacquiao, as were the 2 preceding. Pacquiao, a far more responsible defensive fighter than was the case 8 years ago. That this fight is taking place at a slower pace than the second of their fights. Uppercut from Marquez. Pacquiao seemed momentarily not to be paying enough attention. Marquez landing easily from outside then. Now Pacquiao comes back, answering, firing his gun. Hard wants to answer back right away.
But this is what makes the type of fight that these guys do. When one guy gets hit, the other guy automatically comes back right away.
Pacquiao landed a right hook and a left hand. Marquez comes back with a solid left up the middle. Pacquiao again wants to answer back. 20 seconds to go in the round.
Most dominant round of the fight so far. Authored by Marquez.
And he is loosening up and gathering confidence and starting to fire. But his right eye is also beginning to swell. Good round for Juan Manuel Marquez.
Here you see which is the best punch of the fight right here. Straight right hand, right on the chin from Marquez. Hit it straight between the gloves, right down the pipe.
Manny Pacquiao's chin tested there by Juan Manuel Marquez. Remember the pattern of the first two fights? Scheduled 12. Marquez was buoyed by winning the last round. His corner spirits were lifted. Good jab by Marquez. Judging by the chance, the crowd's about 50-50.
But by nature, the Mexican fans are louder, more boisterous than the Filipino fans.
Marquez blocking Pacquiao's left there. Body shot by Marquez. Drives Pacquiao back. Pacquiao let absurd. Pacquiao's been so mesmerizing, and some of his fans and followers have become irrational in terms of judging his quality compared to the guys he's fighting. There's a good right hand by Marquez, countering off the ropes. And there's a hard left by Pacquiao, and a good right hook, and another left. Full combustion here. All the burners are on. Let's see how high the fire builds. Hard right hand by Marquez, followed by another. Pacquiao with a right hook. Marquez with the left hook.
We're picking up where we left off with the last two.
Both guys tried to see if they could do better than the first.
Two fighters who know each other very well. The inherent beauty of the trilogy. Marquez driving Pacquiao back with a...
Here we see, similar to the last two fights, where Manny shoots shots, get out of position sometimes because he punches so hard, and boom, here comes Marquez right back, taking advantage of that.
And landing 15 of them. Marquez on to Pacquiao.
I could certainly see that. To tell you the truth, I don't think anyone won that first round. Nothing much happened.
But the Nevada State Athletic Commission and most ring authorities now vigorously discourage even round. There's a perfect right hand shot by Marquez, both of the first two fights. One judge in the first fight, 115-10 for Marquez, another 115-10 for Pacquiao. In the second fight, the same thing happened with scores of 115-112.
You know, I don't know what the punch output has been in the first two fights, but these guys are fighting much more respectful, a lot more careful this fight than they did in the first two fights. So the punch output is, I think, down, but they're punching more for axe take and leave themselves open to get
Body shot by Marquez. Score. Good left upstairs by Pacquiao. And a double right that knocks Marquez back. Marquez makes another stand in the center of the ring. There's that left-hand body shot again. You wonder when Pacquiao's going to be able to counter over the top of that with a right. There's a right hand upstairs by Marquez, and again, his timing on that right hand is extraordinary.
Yeah, he's really placing. Even though Manny maybe win, I mean, but I'm not spoken that to the crowd. The most important thing to me is to see how effective shots.
There was an amazing piece of footwork by Pacquiao, who moved to 3 or 4 different places while Marquez was standing still. There's another amazing piece of footwork as he lands a shot and goes by Marquez to a place where
Marquez is taking his time to place his punches.
There's the uppercut. Brilliantly thrown by Marquez. Again, both men had their moments. Let's take a look at Manny Pacquiao's foot movement after he lands a punch. This is what I was talking about at the end of the last round. He lands a left and a right. Now watch him run away at an angle where Marquez can't possibly throw a shot. He did it 3 straight times at the end of the round.
That's the thing that's underappreciated about Marquez.
You saw between rounds that Manny Pacquiao is bleeding from the mouth. Bleeding from a cut apparently inside his lower lip. There's an oddly shaped right-hand shot by Pacquiao that landed. There's Marquez coming back with his conventional straight right cross over the top.
Every time they Manny throws a punch, Marquez comes right back with a counter punch.
Realize no one has competed with Pacquiao since the last time Marquez fought him. He has just smoked everyone he's faced.
In order to compete with him, you must have great craft. You must have pretty good footwork, and you got to have some speed. Marquez can't match Pacquiao for footwork or speed. He can match him for craft, for sure.
But he takes his time. He's always in good balance position, and he takes advantage of Manny running in and getting in his overhand. His punches are very effective. Just like that. The left uppercut.
And a right hand upstairs. Pacquiao needs to answer back. Tries to fire a right hook. Marquez counters with a left.
Pacquiao hasn't fought another great fighter who still had it since the last time he was in with Marquez, and obviously the great Marquez still has it.
In the fight, Juan Manuel Marquez is giving as good as he's getting from round to round and staying right there with Manny Pacquiao once again. Left hand over the top by Manny.
And Marquez comes right back with a shot every time after that.
More and more, though, Pacquiao is ensuring himself by running to a side at an angle after he lands the left. Right hand by Marquez again. He times Pacquiao perfectly with that shot.
Most memorable punches in this fight that have landed so far have been Marquez shots.
Yes. You know, Manny creates a lot of excitement with just his body rhythm, and so I can easily see, in addition to his punching power, why judges get influenced by him, because he's always moving, jiggling, creating excitement.
And throwing the left hand down the middle, which landed to end the round, and in a round. Power shots through 8. Pacquiao's landed 65 now. Marquez has landed 63. Marquez had a 13-11 power shot edge in round number 8. These rounds are close. It's another scoring tap from those who judged the first 2 fights between them. Pacquiao blocked both those shots with his gloves. That was on the back of the head, and Pacquiao shows referee Tony Weeks, and it was on the back of the head. It shouldn't be seen as a scoring blow. Good combination by Marquez. Another good combination by Marquez. Now Pacquiao blocks another shot with his gloves and steps up to look to answer back because Marquez had 2 good offensive moments. hard left hand in return by Pacquiao. Pacquiao needs to find a way to land some combinations here. Marquez is landing more combinations than Manny does at this moment. Pacquiao starting to rely a little bit more on his right hook. Misses with the left. They trade shots at close range. Pacquiao backed Marquez off. Stop. Stop.
Hands up. Please don't bring your hands down.
When you see these kind of exchanges right here going back and forth, it's like who you judge won these exchanges or win these, that's who's going to win the fight. Because they're going back and forth, tit for tat. This one here was, I would have to give up to Manny. That's simply because he looks so strong, so fresh, and it's nice look
there. Aggressiveness. Manny Pacquiao is the aggressor by a mile. Defense. Marquez is swelling, Manny's not. 6-3 Pacquiao.
Once again, Harold Letterman's card is unofficial. He scored the first fight 115-110 for Pacquiao. He scored the second fight 115-112 for Pacquiao. If you were scouting judges, you would say, oh, Letterman prefers the Pacquiao style. Loud style. But nevertheless, he's a very, very good scorer, and other judges would do well to emulate him. Meanwhile, there's combustion again between these two guys in the tent. Marquez backs Pacquiao up for the right hand and does it again. Pacquiao pointing to his head, saying, I think I got butted. There's blood on Pacquiao's face. I'm not certain whether it's his or Marquez's.
quite sure what through minutes. Marquez should be being more aggressive. He seems to have Manny's distracted right now because of the blood for a second. But Marquez is not taking the turn. He should take a turn a little bit more.
Pacquiao's cut. Pacquiao's got a cut above his right eye. Pacquiao is trying to motion to the referee that the cut came from the butt. We'll see what the Nevada State Athletic Commission tells us between rounds. And a little right hand shot for Marquez. Marquez to the body, Pacquiao upstairs. Two-punch combination for Pacquiao. A right and a left there. He missed with the and with the right. Now he lands the left. Marquez comes back with a right. Manny Pacquiao had a big rally to finish the round.
And it's a round.
There's the cut, and it's bad.
Here we see a nice right hand from Marquez.
What caused the cut?
And here you see an exchange right here with headbutt.
There's the headbutt.
That's where the cut comes from.
Nevada State Athletic Commission confirming between rounds that the cut came from the headbutt. And you made the point that Marquez had a round of
maybe even for Marquez at this point.
I wouldn't be shocked, neither would anybody else, based on the scoring of the first two fights, based on the way they match up with each other. shot by Pacquiao. You wonder if Marquez, unaccustomed to his weight, is having a little bit more trouble getting from here to the finish line, maybe pacing himself a tiny bit.
Manny looks so strong, even though Marquez is meeting him almost punch for punch. Manny looks physically so much stronger, much fresher, and much faster.
Marquez is 38, Pacquiao's 32.
Our interpreter, Jerry Olaya, makes clear that in Marquez's corner, Nacho Beristain is very confidently telling Marquez, you're winning, we're winning the fight. That could be influencing Marquez's choices in the ring. Hard right hand by Pacquiao as Marquez runs forward. Big left and a right by Marquez.
I have it a round closer than Harold does, and there was a round at first I thought that could have gone either way.
Pacquiao needs to answer back. Well, Harold has Pacquiao up by 4 rounds, so if you take 2 away, that makes it an even fight. Again, this is highly open to interpretation and could be scored differently by different judges. And again, Nacho Beristain, according to our interpreter Jerry Olaya, is confident.
It's a big difference between doing much better than what the crowd or the public expected than actually winning on the scorecards.
Pacquiao landed his right hook, got in another right hook, but Marquez tagged him with a left on the forehead. Pacquiao's cut has not been reopened in this round.
Marquez also knows that Pacquiao in exchanges is extremely dangerous because of the hand speed, as he found out in their first 2 fights. And so in a way he has to take what Pacquiao gives him, and Pacquiao's being more cautious than in their first 2 fights.
Hard right hand by Marquez. Pacquiao tries to answer back with a left. Closing seconds of the round.
Probably a Marquez
We've got
round.
3 minutes.
Eddie Roach wants to see Pacquiao put this guy on his ass, and the
Official scores may conceivably be closer than that. Most punches. Volume punching is the single biggest factor in fights on the scorecard. Incidentally. 12th round knockouts are rare. Both fighters have only one in their career. So chances are we're headed to the finish line. Very conservative here in the final round of a close fight. Obviously, he believes what Beristain has told him. Pacquiao blocked the second right hand. First one tasted.
Maybe there is a little blood on Pacquiao's face, but I mean, he's never dominated Pacquiao in this fight still.
Eddie Roach certainly
gotta
didn't tell
respect
Pacquiao he's winning. He told Pacquiao to go out and fight.
sometime.
Marquez is trying to time Manny coming in and then counter punches. So all he's waiting on him to come in and mess with the straight left at this stage. But he don't know what to do because every time he runs in and throws a punch, Marquez comes right back and counters him.
That's what's called counterpunching.
And a potential $100 million payday.
Probably to seal this round. This was a tremendous tactical error, I think, by Juan Manuel Marquez. Finally runs the Pacquiao at the end, but never really let his hands go in that round.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Oh boy.
We talked about Marquez fighting cautiously. Pacquiao didn't exactly.
If you're looking for a definitive punch on which to score the 12th round, at the end of the round, that happened. End of the round, that happened. That was.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards after 12 World Championship rounds. Robert Hoyle scores the bout 114 even. Dave Moretti scores it 113. Glenn Trowbridge 116-112 to the winner by majority decision. And still WBO welterweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of the Philippines, Manny Pacman Pacquiao.